That's all right.
You can talk about the bag right now. It doesn't really matter. You can all
Are
be
we
edited
live?
in. Yeah, we're live. Oh, she wants me to do. What do you want me to do?
Command
Command tab.
tab. There you go.
That?
So you're gonna be there.
Oh, I see.
There.
She's having us try something because every once in a while your like your stream flickers on when we have it on the is it OBS?
Yes.
Yeah, OBS for YouTube.
Mm.
So we're trying
Okay.
something different. Yeah.
All right.
So you got all three bags, all three J Concepts bags.
Yeah,
So you're super cool now.
I guess. Yeah.
And they got the
You
new
say
logos
that.
on them. They have all the new logos.
Yeah. Well, I guess you could say I have all 4 new bags because I have the little tool bag
Oh,
thing
yeah,
too.
yeah.
I should have put that in there too. That would sweet.
Oh, man.
well. Hindsight's 2020.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, for everybody, do we have like one watcher right now?
I don't know.
Maybe.
I'm not looking at that because I brought up the results for the Psycho Nitroblast that we're going to talk about here in a little bit.
All right, for our one guy that's watching, I put my new Reedy charger in here, and then my cables for it, which I could probably put in that
Yeah.
part, and then I have my tire warmer deals, then my tire warmer thing there, and I've had a soft
Oh.
case 5,000 milliamp LiPo battery.
By the way, Will got tire warmers.
Yeah, I got tire warmers. I can't believe I didn't have any yet. But anyway, so I have them, like, I put a LiPo in there, so I can just turn that bad boy on and use it, and then you can charge it without taking the LiPo out.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, that's kind of neat, but
Yeah.
I hear that, I don't know, I was just going to try it, because I had a 5,000 milliamp 3-cell soft case battery from an airplane that I stuck in there. So it fit right in there, no problem. I think the one that they sell is a 4200 to go in there, so I got 800 extra milliamps. It's always nice.
You got new bags. I went to the DMV today.
What'd you do at the DMV?
I waited in line for about an hour to get told that they don't know how much I owe to get my plates renewed. So I had to go get. I need to go to my truck. I need to pull up the paperwork they gave me, and I need to take that. I call this number, and then I tell them. And then they tell me. And my guess is, I guess I owe sales tax in my truck.
Still?
2 years after the fact. And so here's a funny thing. So my family is notorious for not plating their cars on time. And my car, I bought it in January, right? I bought out the lease a couple years ago in January. I usually wait till I get my taxes back. So I usually drive dirty for about a month. And then I get my taxes back, and then I go get my plates. Well, we didn't get our taxes till like mid-March. Well, guess what closed about mid-March? The DMV. So,
oh, really? I didn't. Okay.
yeah. So then I tried to go online, and I couldn't find anything online. I could my VIN number wasn't coming up, my name wasn't coming, nothing was coming up, and I'm like, well, what the heck? And so you can't get in trouble right now for riding with illegal plates anyways until August 31st. That's when the thing gets lifted, and then I can actually get pulled over and get a ticket. So I have until then. So the DMV's actually opened up on the inside about 2 or 3 weeks ago here in Nebraska. And I said, one of these days off, I'm going to go. I'm going to wait in line. I'm going to go find out exactly how much I owe. So I did all this, and she said that there was a hold put on my account or whatever because I owe sales tax on my truck. So I think I bought out my lease for like $20,000, and the Douglas County Douglas County sales tax is 5.5%. So I kind of already have a feeling or a number floating around my head. I have no idea how I'm going to make that happen. But I don't know, man. I'm bummed out. But I had nothing else better to do, so I just waited around for an hour with my mask on, by the way. And by the way, Douglas County DMV, not a good place to socially distance. Basically, everybody was packed in there in this line. Nobody was 6 foot away from one another. It was
leaning
just
over your shoulder with COPD.
Okay, so here's a funny story before we get started.
Oh, okay. We're not
Super
even
funny
started
story.
yet.
We haven't even really started yet. Funny story.
We're not even
I'm waiting in
started.
line, and I'm sitting there, and I have the Star Trek game, Star Trek Timelines that I've been playing for like 2 years now. I was able to get a character from like 40.
Was it Jar Jar Binks?
No, Wrong, whatever, but you knew that. Anyways, I was able to like level up one of my characters almost to full while waiting in line. But as I'm doing that, I hear this guy, and I realize that this guy is on the phone. Mm-hmm. And he's one of those guys that's holding his phone out in front of him like this and talking loudly to the person on the other end of the phone. So they're having this whole conversation in the middle of the DMV, which is fairly quiet for the most part, except for this one guy having this really loud conversation about home renovations and stuff. And so I kind of turned my phone a little bit. I opened up my camera and I just went and I clicked his picture. And then I made a Facebook post about this guy because one of my favorite comedians, Tom Segura, has a bit about how terrible and rude people are when they talk on their phones out in the open like that. And I was trying to find the YouTube link, but I think it's been copyrighted or something like that, so I couldn't find it. But anyway, so I had some fun with that. That was kind of fun.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, those guys are a bunch of idiots. Like, you know, like it's like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, back to RC stuff and new stuff Will got. Anyway, so I got the backpack.
Yeah, I saw that. My backpack's broke.
I'm gonna put tires in it. I think I'm gonna make it my tire thing.
Really?
Like, yeah.
Dude, your Ogio bag smells so bad because of all the liquid wrench and PB blaster that we use on our tires, and you put your tires in there.
I haven't. It actually smells pretty good. I put dryer sheets in it for a year.
Okay. And
then I was putting my tires in just the boxes. Because this is the tire bag that I've been taking to the track with me, and I tried to be organized with my tire game again, and I've just been like after the last race, I just kind of like threw them all in here.
Yeah.
I got my drill sitting in there, my heat gun. Won't need that no more. We can pull that the hell out of here, and then. I got all kinds of new tires and wheels and stuff just kind of stuffed in there. And then I got a new box of tires, whole bunch of tires here.
Yeah, I got my little box of tires at home. I'm gonna glue up the front set tonight.
And then look at these things. I got the 9-shot wheels.
Nice.
That'll be pretty cool.
You gonna run those?
And then, yeah, I'm gonna run them. I'm gonna rock them.
All right.
I'm gonna rock them old school. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna rock them old school style.
How do you want some?
No, the ones I want are white, and I think he was out of front wheels, so I didn't get him.
Yeah, it's cool and all, but so anyway, that's new stuff I got.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, I got this shirt.
Nice.
Yeah, I got a shirt.
So we have two people watching on YouTube right now. I didn't really promote today's show at all. I was kind of busy. It was super nice out today, so I've been doing stuff.
Yeah, you're at the DMV for an hour.
I was at the DMV for an hour. I probably could have posted some stuff there too, but
yeah, you really could have.
I think the guy behind me knew that I took a picture of the loud guy and was kind of giving me an evil eye. But I have a problem with it. It happens in the store sometimes too now, where somebody will walk in. Like we were really, really busy for a little while on Sunday, and Kip decided to go to the bathroom for 20 minutes. So
he is a 20-minute.
So it was
guy.
just all it was Cam and me, and there had to be 30 people in the store, right? And so I'm trying to help people as fast as I can. I'm answering everybody's questions and all that. But the thing about the masks is you only get the eyes. You don't get any other facial features. So when I'm making eye contact with people, everybody just looks angry when I see their eyes. So in the DMV, this guy that was behind me, that I think he saw me take the picture and write a post about this loud guy, I made eye contact with him, and I thought he was going to kill me. I didn't make eye contact with the loud guy, just the guy behind me saw me take the picture, and I looked at him for a second. I was like, whoa, this guy's like mad at me. So
I wonder if they're friends.
I don't think so. I just think it's the fact that the masks don't allow you to see the rest of the face where we get our nonverbal cues from to understand how people are acting and stuff. You know?
Interesting.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, that was 10 minutes of babble.
Yeah.
This is Alex.
Like our monologue.
Yeah. This is Alex Sturgeon with the Hobbytown HobbyPlex. As always, with me is
Will Brinton.
And we're here for what is this, episode 24 now? 25?
Is it really?
Of the HobbyPlex show. We're getting up there. It's kind of cool. I think it's 25.
Yeah.
So
Road
yeah,
to 50.
Yep. As always, this program is brought to you by Pivot Lending. Pivot Lending Group. You can find them at pivotlending.com. You can give them a phone call, emails, whatever. And if you mention our show and you're in the market for a new home loan or a refinance, they'll give you $500 off your closing cost or 0.125 off of your rate, which is awesome. And if you listen to last week's show, it sounds like they're expanding into new territory. So
Really?
if you're listening to the show in California, Arizona, Colorado, Nebraska, of course, I think Kansas, I think they're already licensed to do stuff there, but I think they're going to be on the East Coast here pretty soon. So
Wow.
you can take advantage of our program, even though, right now you might be out of the loop or whatever. I don't know how that works, but
Yeah.
sounds right. So, dude, we actually have some hobby news to talk about, man. Before we get going with the rest of the stuff with the Plex, I want to talk about some hobby news. I want to talk about a little bit of race results from the TCS this weekend. To be honest with you, I have no idea who won anything or who did anything because I had to work in the store Saturday and Sunday, and we were super short-staffed, so I didn't get a chance to go downstairs and take any videos. I didn't get a chance to do nothing. It was just nonstop upstairs.
You want to see what I did on Saturday?
You hurt yourself, didn't you?
Yeah, like I fell on my longboard.
I thought that's what that was.
Yeah, I was
That's
going
a good
down.
one.
Yeah, it was a good road rash. I was going down a big hill, and I was hanging 10, maybe even 11, and death wobbled and hit a crack in the concrete, and it threw me off. And there was like some lady and her kids that they said I was bleeding. I was like, oh, I'm not. I looked at my arm. She's like, yeah, look at your arm. I'm like, it's just skinned up. So I got back up, and then I redid the hill, and then I rode back to the campsite and drank a beer, and then got back on and started riding some more.
Emerson did that once on his scooter. I think he was like 6, or I think he was 7. He was hauling down our hill on his scooter, missed on his like razor or whatever it was, and did something wrong. Anyways, he crashed really hard, and he scraped up, road rashed like half of his body and knocked out his 2 front teeth about a year or so before they were actually supposed to come out. So he had basically no front teeth for probably about a year and a half because his baby teeth weren't coming in yet.
He was like that kid from Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, not to hobby
news.
news.
You're good.
Anyway.
So I wanted to talk about a little bit of hobby news that's out there. I wanted to talk about the TCS race, and then I wanted to talk about the 2020-2021 schedule. I took a little bit of time this weekend and kind of wrote everything down, and boy, it's going to be crazy. So
You bet.
So hobby news, man. So this weekend was the Psycho Nitro Blast, and it was the first really, really big race since all the COVID-19 stuff went down. Wasn't it? I mean, if I'm not mistaken, it's the first one that's really been, we've really seen all the teams come back together to race.
I would say so, yeah.
You finally had Thomas Tran be able to do what Thomas Tran does with the Team Losi Racing side of things. I saw a bunch of live video. I saw a lot more social media content pertaining to the Losi team. Jared and Joe and the Techno team were there in force. They had a lot of good content that was up, a lot of live video and stuff. And, of course, the J Concepts crew was there doing that, too.
Mm-hmm.
We had a lot of locals go to that race. So, you had the Fullers, and you had Tom Rinderknecht. You had Nate Sutherland, Caden Fuller, of course. I already said the Fullers. Yeah. I think a lot of our 8SCO guys, I think Ashton Abdul went there. Didn't he?
I believe he did, yeah. I'm not sure how he finished or anything, but I have a feeling he was there.
Chris Morant went down there. Of course, it's weird because they race here so much. I kind of consider them somewhat local HobbyPlexers, but so Seth Van Dalen, of course, was part of that Techno team went there. Of course, Jared Tebow. He's not necessarily local, but he's only 3 hours away, and he comes up to the Plex to race. So
adopted locals.
He's kind of an adopted local.
Yeah.
Who else was there? James Ham went down there.
Did he?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. So, I didn't get a chance to see him again because we were so darn busy in the store this weekend, and there was only 3 of us working. But the results, when they popped up, I saw Tyler Jones. He's been at the HobbyPlex a lot. TQ'd around a Pro Buggy, I think the first round, and then so he was in the A. Jared Wiggins, I think he got the bump into the A, so he was again making A mains. Those guys come here a lot. And Pro Buggy A main saw Jared Tebow take the win from the 8th qualifying spot, and Seth Van Dalen got 2nd from the 10th qualifying spot.
That is really cool.
That is really, really cool. The last time... Well, yeah, go ahead.
The only race I watched was Pro E-Buggy. It was the only race I got to watch.
And Mason did pretty well in that. Didn't he come back to get like 5th or something? Yeah.
That's 4th really or 5th, something like that. And Dakota Fenn was just gone. He was gone. He was way gone. He even crashed, had a big crash, and couldn't get reeled in. Mm-hmm. Just insane. Anyway, go ahead.
Looking at the results, it is a nitro race, so, a lot of times, especially on these big, bumpy, blown out tracks, a lot of times your qualifying effort seems to not matter that much.
Yeah, it's just like you got to put it in the show, and usually the cars that are good at the beginning of the weekend when the track's still smooth, and you put it in them heater runs, those cars don't normally work as well when the track is as bumpy. So it's like you almost just want to have a consistent car that you can drive all the time, and you know what it's going to do, and you can get it through the bumps fine, and or at least work towards that. So, you start out with maybe a thicker shock oil package, and then you end up on water, water for shock oil at the end of the weekend when the track's all blown out, bumpy.
I think a race like the Psycho Nitro Blast with Seth finishing 2nd. So we know he TQ'd the Dirt Nitro Challenge this year. That was really the last major race that happened before all the shutdowns happened. And so he TQ'd the Dirt Nitro Challenge, but then his main was just horrible. I mean, the track monster just got him, Mm-hmm. I feel like you didn't really... to be honest with you, before this main, I had no idea he was even there. Right?
Oh, really?
I had no clue. I saw a picture of the Techno team, and but everybody was wearing masks, and I thought that was Seth. He was there. They had their 5 guys there. They had Tebow, Bornhorst, Wiggins, some other dude, and then another guy. And I thought for sure it was Seth Van Dalen, but the colors. I don't know if the color in the picture changed or if he changed his colors a little bit, but I wasn't really sure. And then I kind of caught the tail end of the main on the live feed on Facebook, and I was like, oh, freaking A, Seth is there. That's awesome. But I feel like getting 2nd at a race like this for him is almost like a redemption for the DNC.
Right.
Because this track, if you look at it, it was pretty blown out too. Yeah. And he was able to drive up there.
There's some big holes, and there was some big jumps.
Yes. Well, that's the Psycho Nitro Blast. That's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, right. The one person I was surprised didn't do better in Pro Buggy was Mayfield. I was just a little surprised. I don't know. I have a feeling like a lot of those guys just somebody like Seth and Jared Wiggins.
Yeah.
And, they probably never quit the entire time, but I think that Arizona was locked down so hard that a lot of those guys probably struggled to get track time. I don't know.
Yeah, I saw a few posts here and there, but nothing, not too many races other than, lately you've seen the JBRL and the grassroots stuff, the series that they have out there. They got a couple good tracks that are kind of out in the boonies too. Yeah,
and those guys were all hitting those races too. I know Cavallari was at the JBRL, and Spencer was too.
Yeah.
And I was surprised Cavallari didn't do better. It looked like he struggled the entire weekend.
Yeah. There's you never know with tracks like that. It just might not fit somebody's driving style too.
Yeah, or even the car. If your car is set like a all it is a smooth setup, or smooth track car, and
Yeah.
you try to race it on something like that, and it just is the geometry just isn't going to work for it.
Yeah.
Something like that.
So in Pro E-Buggy, Dakota Fenn kind of just, he had a 4-second lead over Rivkin at the end, but it didn't look like he was struggling too much with his car. I wonder if that's a regular Losi X, or if he's got some different parts on it. I'm not saying that the current car that is out, the Losi 8X or whatever, would be able to handle a track like that, but I don't know.
It's hard saying.
Makes me wonder sometimes.
I have a feeling those guys are always running new stuff, trying different things that you can't
that's
buy.
True. Rivkin finished second. Tyler Jones finished third with his. He's running a Gamma cars now. Has been for a little while, and then Seth Van Dalen, there he is again. So, and then Mason Fuller got fifth. So we got 2 out of 5 hobbyplexers really in the top 5 in an e-buggy. That's pretty awesome.
Or who got no? Yeah, you're right. Never mind. Sorry.
Yeah, and then Tebow was in the top 10. He finished 8th in that one. And just looking down, Wiggins made the A again. Finished last, but whatever.
Made the A.
Made the A. Yep.
You're lapping everybody that didn't make the A if you're last in the A.
I wanted to. They'd had a 15 and under junior nitro buggy A main, and this one, I got to be honest with you, I was surprised to see Mason Fuller 4th, because
really,
a couple of the kids in front of him. I mean, I kind of recognized the names, but not to the point where you would go, oh, well, of course he'd win, Whereas Mason, I don't know. I kind of feel that way about him sometimes. Like, oh, of course he's in there in the A main. Of course he's top 3.
Right.
Of course he's of course he's racing with the pros. But how many junior things did they have? Because I could have swore that Caden Fuller. Oh, yeah, here it is. So 15 and under junior e-buggy had Caden Fuller with the win and Nate Sutherland finishing second in that one. Yeah. That's awesome.
That was cool.
And then they had...
Dude, Tim's the man. He's like one of my favorite people at the track.
Yeah. He's always out there blowing the track off for me without even asking. I'll grab the blower, start walking out there, and he'll come running behind me and take it from me. Like, I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tim's a good guy, man. I love that guy.
Yeah, and they're getting those cars of his working really good.
Yeah, they just love doing it. That's what I like about him. Like, Tim just likes doing it.
Yeah.
And they're getting some results.
Yep.
That's what it's all about, man.
And then Truggy, again, Dakota, kind of looked like he really stuck it to everybody with Truggy with the brand new truck. I don't even think it's out yet. Because I think him...
No, they were calling it a prototype truck.
Tom Rinderneck and Mason Fuller were running their trucks that are, quote-unquote prototype at their big track in Des Moines to get practice for this race. And so that was pretty cool. Jared Tebow with a 4th out of that one. Cole Tollard, he finished 6th. I think he had a rough weekend most of the way around, but got a top 10 out of that, so that's cool. He's been to the Plex a few times. And then Mason Fuller finished 9th out of that group. Mm-hmm. So, and Van Dalen was there. He was 14th. So a little rough one there for him. And Wiggins again, there he is again. So it's really neat for me to see, the what I consider to be the HobbyPlex locals go to these things. I've said that before. We were talking about the Reedy Race and the Dirt Nitro Challenge, in previous shows and stuff. But just to see it consistently now is pretty awesome.
Yeah, I would.
Especially when you can run with them for a little while.
Yeah, that's like my favorite. Like if I am ahead of them.
Yeah, that's even better. Even for a lap.
That's a victory.
Yeah.
And then you like. You aren't giving it to them. You aren't giving it the spot.
Yeah.
This isn't going to happen. Turn in on them and take them out. No, I turn in on them usually.
Oh man,
I'm not giving it to you.
Yeah.
I can do it in a way that won't wreck us. Tom's like the king of moving you out of the way without wrecking you.
Yeah, Tom and I had a pretty good race. Remember that club race back in May where him and Alex crashed super early and I got a big lead?
Yeah,
and then
I was there because I was
last lap.
Yeah.
Wah, wah. So
I was glued right to him.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. I'm not going to this technically isn't like a national show. I like to keep it close to the HobbyPlex. So that's kind of why I wanted to bring it up, just because of all the plexers that went there and did good and finally got a chance to go to a big race again.
Yeah.
But it's just, I don't know. It was pretty cool. I think Chris Morant did pretty good, and I think he ran intermediate. I think he finished second in it's either truggy or buggy. So that's really good.
Yeah, it is.
So, other hobby news, just really quick. Team Associated released an Element 24th scale today.
Really?
Yes. So
is it a crawler? Or is it like the chassis that the like the RC10? It just looks like a crawler.
No, they already released one of those. It's
okay.
Those are the CR. We've been selling the buttload of them at the store now. I can't remember the name of them. It doesn't matter. Oh, the CR36, I think is what it is. They're little 36 scale. No, this is an actual 24 scale, and it's probably going to go head to head with the axial trucks that are out there.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So they have two bodies. They're both truck bodies. They just have different paint jobs on them. But so they're entering that 24 scale realm, where right now axial, and they're three. They got the Chevy, the Deadbolt, and the Jeep. Those three were the only ones in that category. So another one added to that one. Should be pretty good.
That's cool. I'll have to check one of those out.
You should get one. You're sponsored by Associated. You can get one.
Well, yeah, I know. That's what I meant by checking one out. I'll probably get one.
I need to make a 24 scale course for this winter. Our indoor course is 1/10 scale. I need to get better at that.
Yeah, you can cost off all the woodland scenic stuff.
Yeah. Yep. Speaking of that, dude, do you know that one of my better YouTube videos so far is the indoor crawling course video I did back in December? It's got like 16,000 views.
Wow, that's almost internet money.
It goes up like a couple hundred a day, I've noticed.
Huh.
Yeah. It's weird how
Start
just
sharing it.
It's weird how just one of those just kind of takes off.
Yeah.
Otherwise, my normal count.
It's probably just like key points in a search. Like if somebody like looks up like indoor rock crawling.
Yeah.
Something like that.
In the analytics on YouTube, you can actually see what people are searching for to find your videos, and that is exactly it. It's indoor rock crawling is the #1 search term that brings up that specific video.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I thought that was pretty neat. So there was no off-road racing at the HobbyPlex this weekend. We kind of had the weekend off for the off-roaders, although I didn't because I had to work both Saturday and Sunday, which is fine. That's much rather have that than not have a job. But instead, in its place, we held a TCS regional, Tamiya Championship Series regional. And I just read a post from Tamiya today saying how the Nationals is canceled and the Worlds in Japan are canceled. And
really?
I think everybody kind of knew that going in, that there wasn't going to be a Nationals this year, so there wasn't going to be a real ticket to Japan. Because basically, at the Nationals, if you win some of these ticket to Japan classes, they will pay for everything except I think food. I think they pay for your flight, they pay for your hotel, they pay for your transportation, whatever that may be.
They don't pay for food?
Yeah, but they don't pay for food.
What a jip.
Yeah, when I went to China, I also had to pay for my own food, and once I found the KFC, it was fine after that. So,
dude, I'd be eating all kinds of weird stuff. I'd love it.
When I was over in China in Beijing, I could not find too much weird stuff. The only thing they had near the track at all was a noodle shop, and their noodles were fantastic.
That's what I'd be eating. I'd be eating that.
dude. It was like, so I did the math. It was like $1.20 of US money for this giant bowl of noodles, and then you would go and you pick out your sauce, and there's little chunks of like pork and stuff in it, and you put that in there. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, dude.
Yeah.
I could eat that the whole time.
One of my favorite things when we go to the store, or like where my wife and I are out, I'll stop at like a Asian market, or we'll be walking in a grocery store, and they'll have like the ramen that has like no English writing on it, and I'll get those. Mm-hmm. Like I try to find like a new one every time,
like it's real ramen.
Yeah, well, I guess,
Yeah.
It's still probably Americanized, but I just have fun like trying to find new ones. It's a hobby.
not to get I don't want to like bring politics or anything into our show, but I was
too late.
I was I was on Facebook this morning. Full disclosure, I was also fully nude on the can at the time.
If you're sitting and pooping and you're completely naked, you're just like, what have I done with my life? Anyway, sorry.
Pre-shower though, the worst is post-shower poos.
Yeah, you just go back to bed and start over.
Yeah, start over. Anyways, so I was reading so a thing came up, and there was a dude in this video, and it was Chris Como on CNN going. He said something like, where does it say that protesters have to be peaceful? And then there's a guy like eating raw ramen noodles, like crunching on him. And then he goes, it's right here in the Constitution. And he reads off the sentence where it says that they may peacefully assemble. And then he goes back to eating raw ramen noodles. I thought it was pretty funny.
Huh. Did he put the seasoning on it?
No, just raw ramen noodles, which is weird because I've also seen videos where they've taken ramen noodles and like patched up drywall and patched up like holes in cars with it as well. I can't imagine that being very good for you.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's one thing I've never done is eaten ramen raw.
I'm gonna go try it tonight. We got ramen at home. Couple. That's my go-to snack. My midnight snack is to make ramen noodles.
Yeah,
because they're cheap.
So I just love cents. Salt. Salt's like my favorite food.
Yeah, they're so filled with soda. Gretchen's always like,
"Oh my God, they're so filled with sodium. You're gonna have a heart attack. You're gonna explode and swell up like a me."
Sugar is worse for you than salt.
I know.
Anyway,
sugar is. I love sugar. Speaking of which,
I don't. I'm sweet enough already.
Okay, so we had the Tamaya Championship Series regional. So, they're going to try to have more of these regionals where they can, right? And we're kind of lucky in Nebraska. We haven't had any major spikes even now. We've kind of waded through this thing without too much catastrophe, and so we're actually able to hold this race. Even in March, when this race is held, it doesn't get a phenomenal, huge amount of entries, right? Mm-hmm. So I think the most we've ever had is maybe 60-something entries for a regional.
Yeah.
Nationals, I was surprised last year didn't even have that many. I thought there'd be a lot, and I don't even think they cracked 100, to be honest with you.
Huh.
If I remember right, which is weird because if Tamaya's paying for a couple classes to go to Japan, if you win one of those, you get a free trip to Japan. It's literally free trip to Japan. Why would you not want to go or partake in that? It's something that has always made me wonder about that whole thing.
And they don't do it like, oh, we didn't get the car count for the race.
Nope.
They don't do it. There could be 3 people there,
and
somebody's getting a trip to Japan.
And hey, the entry fee is free. There is no entry fee for the Tamaya Championship Series. The only rules are you got to follow the TCS rules. You obviously have to run a Tamaya car. Can't really run. I don't think you can run any other hop-ups other than Tamaya products.
Right.
But dude, the stuff that you get, not only do you get this like little medal, if you get the top 3 or whatever it is.
I still have mine somewhere.
Yeah, but they like give you product. Like last year, everybody got a TTO2 like Mustang kit in the prospect class.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think in the GT1 class, like you got a legit like 417 or 419 car, whatever that was. I mean, that's like a $500 car.
In GT2 one year, which was actually it was, I wanted to run my car in GT1, but I wasn't allowed to because you had to have a 13.5 motor. So that year it was Silver Can was GT3, GT2 was 17.5, and GT1 was 13.5. And I was running like 2 laps faster than GT1. Both Kevin,
Lissac.
can't remember his. No, not Lisak. The guy, I thought he was Korean and he was here for school. He's going to Iowa.
Oh,
And-
Kevin Kang.
Yeah, Kevin Kang. He won. I got second, and we were like, we were running like 2 laps ahead of GT1 and GT2.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to run my car in GT1, and I couldn't do it because you had to have a 13.5 motor in your car.
Yeah,
Which, it makes sense. I mean, that's the rules.
that's the rules.
You know, but but anyway, I got second to Kevin, and I won. I got the sweet medal, which is still in the case, and then I got a body, set of tires, and one other thing, just for finishing second, and it didn't cost anything to race. And the tires, I built a kit for that. I built a car for that race, and I ran the tires that came in the kit. It was perfect. It was like, what more could you ask for?
Yeah, that I TQ'd F1 one year when it was still on foam, and then I blew out in the main. I think I finished
go
like
figure.
4th or something like that. Yeah, it's pretty standard for the course for me.
There was only one A main.
No, there was 3.
Oh,
But my car got progressively slower as the traction came up. I remember being pretty dumbfounded by how that could happen.
yeah. I remember F1 when it was still on foam. There was some guy running these little tiny batteries in his F1 car, and it was like it was really cool. But it was like there was some like Duratrax hard cased 2,000 milliamp battery. It fit all the rules,
Yeah.
and it was like, well, you couldn't get one, you know?
Right.
Like, anyway.
So, just to go over the results really fast, we'll start with Mini. So TCS Mini. I used to rock this class back in the MO3 days. I loved Mini. Now I just...
Was the MO3 rear motor or front
No, it's
motor?
front-wheel drive,
or
man.
Front wheel drive or rear wheel drive?
front wheel.
That was front wheel drive.
Yeah. So the rear wheel cars have always been faster, but the front wheel drive cars have always handled better. So, but I hope I get his name right because I never really get a chance to talk to him too much. But Vu Vang, who I'm pretty sure came from California,
Really?
to run in this race because I think it was his only chance to run the Tamiya series this year. He took the win. Ken McCanney got second. Mike Wenzel got third. Our Dennis Reardon fourth. Tony Cook fifth. Jim Starr sixth, and Jim Hungate got seventh. And so I
Nice.
think they only had 7 cars, and pretty much everybody was local except for Vu and Mike. And oh shoot, why did I do that? I went back too far. Let's open this up again.
No.
There we go. So Euro Truck. So here's the thing about this race and why we like to have it is we know it's a free entry, so we're not going to make anything off of entry fees or anything like that. However, usually before this race comes up for about the month leading up to it, everybody's coming in buying stuff, buying kits, either TTO2s, TTR1s. In this case, the Euro trucks. Locally, we've had so Tim last year did a Wednesday night truck series. So like one Wednesday a month was an ETRL thing, which by the way I did a video on, and it's got like over 1,000 views. So it's one of the other better ones. Anyways, but the trucks, you can't do anything to them. Like you can put bearings in them and glue the sidewalls of the tires, and that's it. You're not allowed to do anything else. So these things, they tend to roll over really easy if there's a lot of grip and stuff. So they're kind of they're a fun class for sure, but they also are a handful sometimes, and it's fun to see
like-
everybody whack each other.
Yeah, it's like a stock slash.
Yeah, and they're cheap. It's like $130 for the kit. Supply your own radio and battery, and I think
Really?
and I think we make you run these $30 peak lipo batteries, if I remember right. Anyways, this was a complete 100% local class. So Tim Ski took the win. Kenny got second again. Aiden Olson, who I think he borrowed Tom Quinn Inslee's truck or something like that, finished third. Dennis Reardon fourth. Mitchell Pavel, the missile, got fifth. Tony Cook sixth, and Nate Anderson got seventh. Nice. All local guys, including your HobbyPlex general manager took the win in that one. So Pro Spec. So this one was again a complete local field, and it's funny because there was a lot of smack talking going on with several of these drivers before this race. And Pro Spec, what it is TTO2. It's one of Tamiya's most simplest touring cars, and you can't really change much here either. You can't, there's some. I think all the Tamiya hop-ups were allowed so that you can, what were they coming up and buying? They were doing, you can do shocks, you can change your front arms so they're adjustable. You can put CVDs in them, or CVRs, CVAs, whatever you want to call them. You can put aluminum stuff on them to stop you from breaking too much if you want to. So this one, there's a little bit more you can do. They're not near as fast as a regular touring car, right? How about Trevor Zelazny taking the win in this one? That's your Friday night race director.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Dustin Gokenauer got second. Nate Anderson got third. Aiden Olson got fourth, which is, on-road must not be his thing.
Yeah, I always felt like I was a better on-road driver than I was off-road. But I was always a better, faster on-road class driver.
Yeah, I love racing USGT.
Car or
yeah,
was it 19 turn?
Yeah.
I was always good at
that. Mason Ebner and Mark Ebner finished fifth and sixth. So again, this is a completely 100% local class. Pro Spec. In the past, we've had Pro Spec, and then we've had like a novice spec type thing where I think in this one you can run the brushless 21.5 motor, but in the novice one you're running the canned motor or whatever, just so it's cheaper.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Formula One, the ringers from out of town took this one. So Hector Martinez finished first. Vu Vang finished second. Jim Humgate third. Mason fourth, and it looks like Tim Ski didn't even run. So his F1 car must have been angry at him. Yeah. I liked racing F1 when they were on foam tires.
Yeah, I've actually never. I had one for like a week, and then I quit racing carpet.
When they went to rubber, not so much. Maybe I should try it again, because the rubber tires now on black carpet especially look like they're hooked up more. But when they went to rubber tires, I kind of lost interest because it made those things squirrely, and they're so long and skinny. Right?
Well, they don't look smooth.
Yeah.
Like they're bouncing everywhere. They don't look like a scale F1 car.
Yeah.
To me, they just don't look right. But
in my opinion, you shouldn't be allowed to run F1 unless you have a rain light in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Science.
So GT2. So GT2, if I remember right, is the Tamiya tub. The upper echelon of the Tamiya tub cars. So we're talking like TA07s, 07Rs. I think they even have a new RR or something like that. I think if you still got one, I think TA05s, 6s, just anything with the tub chassis. And these can generally go pretty fast because I believe they're running 21.5 motors. There's basically just like USGT in this one, except with Tamiya cars. Mm-hmm. So the Weirs came. They always come to this race when it's held here. Nathan Weir and David Weir finished first and second. And I think their son and father, I think is what it is. Dustin Gokenauer finished third. Jimmy Stegan fourth. Mitchell Pavel fifth. And Mike Wenzel finished sixth. So two locals, Dustin and Mitchell. And everybody else is from out of town. And then if we move on to GT1, And what GT1 are the expensive Tamiya cars. So these are like the TRF 2019s and 20s, the carbon fiber cars, basically. What you would find more like, comparable to like an X-Ray, Schumacher,
right?
Infinity, whatever you want to call it. So
they're on the 419 right now.
They're on the 420 right now. Yeah. Actually, last year I was like, hey, are you guys really going to call your car the 420? And they're like, yeah, why not? I'm like, oh, okay. Just making sure.
Yeah. Nice.
Are you going to paint it green? Like,
yeah. Does it come with the number 69 in the box?
Oh, geez.
That'd be sweet. Anyway. I digress. Edit that out.
Yeah,
Timestamp that.
Timestamp that one.
Yeah. This is a family show, I guess.
So Vu Vang took the win in this one. David Weir finished second, Nathan third, and then Jimmy Stegan and Hector Martinez. So in GT1, no locals. Everybody from out of town raced GT1.
Huh.
And I believe GT1 is one of the classes that's always with the ticket to Japan. So if it mattered this year, you'd probably see these guys back at Nationals. So,
who won the theoretical trip to Japan?
Well, nobody did because it's not a national.
Oh.
So
okay.
the way that
Sorry.
TCS works.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, but you remember
right.
the way that TCS works is that if you run a regional, then you're allowed to run at the national regardless of where you finished. But you had to run at a regional to run at a national.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay.
They're trying to do some sort of rules or whatever. So, so there it is. That was the TCS race. We had about, let's look down at the bottom. We had 47 entries, 22 total drivers. So it wasn't a doorbuster. But this race never really is. It usually, 60 something.
Right.
So considering everything we've gone through this year, and it's a reschedule, it's supposed to be in March. Well, here it is in July. You don't normally race carpet in the middle of July.
I was surprised to see Tamiya continue making like a top tier touring car since they don't have like a factory race team anymore.
Yeah. I think they used this series though to kind of market that. That's why they like to have sense. GT1,
Yeah.
Because if you look, I've gone on YouTube and I've looked at the Tamiya videos from the Worlds last year. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of people there. And a lot of cars, in all classes.
Right.
So, I don't know. I even though they don't have a Reinhardt or anybody like that, or even a team at all.
Right.
I think they still use it to kind of make this TCS series work. I remember the Tamiya Championship Series being around since the early 90s.
Yeah. No, it's been around for a long time.
TA01? Wasn't that their first touring car that had that red... The white, or not white, but it was like a black and red chassis, and they've used that chassis for several things. Like, didn't they have a couple trucks? They used the same
had
chassis.
that short course truck. Remember that?
Yep.
With the drive shaft that went on, like, it was on the right side above the chassis or something?
Yep.
Really weird. And Nolan Walk, when he worked at the home office or even at the store.
I miss Nolan.
He wanted to do... that is a spec class.
Yeah.
And you buy the car and you get a battery and everything, and you race that on the outdoor or off-road track. And I was like, thinking about it when short course is big, I was like, Nolan is like way ahead of his time. Like when this Slash came out, it was like, because that would have been what, like 2001, I think, something like that, around that time.
Yep.
But anyway.
Yeah, that's on the carpet, on the indoor carpet.
No, the Lincoln off-road track.
Oh, the off-road track. Oh.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yep.
Yeah, I vaguely remember somebody bringing one or two of those little Tamiya, the little Tamiya four-wheel drive trucks based off the touring car series and running them on the off-road. I do remember that. I kind of remember that. Weird. Mm-hmm. It's like that was like a repressed memory.
Yeah. Alex's repressed memories.
There's a lot of those from late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
Most of them have to do with RC cars, too, not anything other than that. We've had 2 or 3 people watching our YouTube stream. I finally, my sister allowed me to take her phone and kind of look at it. Mister's back on here. He's from, I believe, Quebec. He
Ooh,
said,
hey, buddy.
"Sup, boys?" And
Nothing,
then
dude.
Rude Dudes RC Adventures says, "Hello, how is everyone tonight?" And I think we're doing okay.
I'm fine.
We're doing what we do on Mondays.
Yeah.
Try to fill up an hour or so of something.
Who's our other watcher?
I don't know. Doesn't really say.
Oh, all right.
Oh, I think it's my sister, actually.
That's funny.
That is funny. But like I said in the past, like these the Monday night shows usually get up over 100 views by the end of the week, so it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Maybe a good time to take a moment and listen to our sponsor. I know he came in and put some fresh content down to listen to, and I heard it last week. So from pivotlending.com, David Olson, Aiden Olson's dad, and Don Zoller. Okay, nice little pause there. Okay, so I'm gonna do a kickstart real fast because I'm working on. Actually, I slept pretty good today. I don't know why I did that, but there's a small one. I really do need to track down PepsiCo and see if we can get ourselves a Kickstart sponsorship. That'd be pretty funny.
Yeah.
All I would need is like a month's supply of Kickstart, and I would like we'd have like a Kickstart logo on here. It'd be awesome.
I wonder if their sales have increased regionally after we started doing this show. That'd be neat. Like, what the heck is going on?
Let me tell you
Brendan?
something. I've had many experiences with local convenience stores running out of Orange Kickstart.
Mm-hmm.
So they just need to bring more in. Obviously, the other flavors do not sell near as well. So most places should at least have 2 rows of Kickstart. The Casey's down the street.
Oh, I'm here. Sorry.
Oh, okay. The Casey's down the street only has 1 row of Kickstarts. So occasionally I'll go down there and they'll be out, and I'll have wasted my time going to the Casey's, and so then I gotta haul myself down to the BP on the other side of the interstate from the HobbyPlex, because they always have it in stock. They have like 3 rows of it, and it's always full for some reason, which is good. So I started thinking that I should just go straight there. The problem is that I have these Casey's points that I like to build up because I can use them to get free Kickstarts down the road. Right? So I don't know. I'm torn sometimes, but I definitely do not go to the Come and Go at 132nd and Fort. I've actually boycotted that store for the last 2.5 years now because they were always out. They were always out of Kickstart, and I finally brought it to the attention of the manager there once, and she was cool about it. She's like, "All right, I'll have my vendor bring in more." And for a while, it was fine. And then apparently they had some new guy that was shorting them Orange Kickstart again. And I noticed it, a couple times. I'd get there in the morning. I kind of time out, how I'm supposed to get to work, whatever. I'd get there in the morning, they'd be out. So one time I'm like, "Hey man, like this is like the 4th day in a row that you guys have been out of this product." And the girl behind the counter was just like, "Me." Little shrug of the shoulders and just went, "Me." And I'm like, "Do you think you can maybe talk to your vendor and get it?" And she's like, "Meh, we have no control over that." I'm like, "Okay, well, your manager last time said something and you guys worked it out and then it was fine." And then she just went, "Me," again. And I was like, "All right, clearly you don't care, so I guess I won't be going back to here ever again." And there was more to that story, but I don't want to I feel like when I tell that story in a way, I could be the a-hole in that story.
Probably.
But I don't feel.
You're definitely the whiner. You don't have my drink. How am I
exactly
supposed to go
like
on with my life without my drink.
Right. It's first world problems. I get that. It's me complaining that they don't have it in stock, but at the same time, like you're a store and you're supposed to carry this stuff, and but it wasn't just that. Like that place at that time. Maybe it's better now. I don't know. I'm never going to go in there again, so it doesn't matter. But they were always out of water. Like Emerson and I would go in there and they'd be out of water. Like the shelves would be empty of water. And the same girl was in charge of the kitchen. And every time that I would go in there, she would have nothing available. No pizza, no nothing. And they're supposed to have pizza on that little twirly thing. And I used to think that Come and Go pizza was okay. And so I'd always want it. And then they never have it. And one time I was like, "Hey, man, where's the pizza at?" And she goes, from way in back, she's like,
I've got it Ready? Yeah!
and yelled at me. And I was like, whoa, okay, I'm just going to get a donut and I'm going to leave. And this is the same person that shrugged her shoulders at me and just do your job. That's all I want. Just you have a job, just do it. Like, what's the big deal? Anyways. Small rant there. I don't do those very often, but that was my convenience store rant. Hey,
I'm chewing Mentos gum.
you are?
Yeah, see?
Can you put that in a pop?
I don't have a soda.
Oh.
But anyway, so Richard could cue up the do 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 wah for Mentos.
Do you remember well, of course you remember, but you know the Foo Fighters stopped playing that song at concerts because they got tired of having Mentos thrown at them?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No. I
Yeah,
really like the Foo Fighters.
David Grohl said that once in an interview that they got so sick and tired.
David Grohl.
Right? That's right.
Dave Grohl.
Dave Grohl. Well, whatever. I read an interview once where he got so tired of having that stuff thrown at him during the concert they stopped playing that song.
Oh, that's funny.
Because the video. Back when they actually played videos on MTV.
Yeah.
I want to talk about scheduling.
Yeah.
So we know that this year's been kind of crazy, and we've basically just been making do with what we have. Yeah, I had this grand thing laid out for this summer that was supposed to have us have a summer series race, and then a crawling event the Saturday after each summer series. Then I was going to have a club race, and then I was going to do this thing called the Pro 20 Challenge.
Yeah.
And then it would be summer series race. So we had these like things that I was going to fill in on Saturdays because typically Saturdays slow down, right?
Right.
Well, this year we've been getting strong club racing because the shutdown kind of 3 months lost. Everybody's just been happy to get out there. It seems like and get to the track. So, so all that kind of went to the wayside, and we've just been making our open Saturdays and Fridays, back to club racing, which has been good. It's been really good.
Mm-hmm.
So, I anticipate next year to be a little different, unless this thing keeps dragging on and on and on and on and on. But I've been really struggling with when we start carpet off-road again.
Yeah.
So would you, because here's the thing, we have an unidentified big race, 10 scale off-road race.
Still unidentified?
Yeah, unidentified. That's going to happen February 4th through the 7th. And we don't normally have a 10 scale race in the wintertime. It's usually, the last couple of years, I've made a real effort to kind of massage the track to more of an 8 scale style track throughout the wintertime and then put it back to 10 scale, for this cycle of racing that we've had that's been successful for us. Mm-hmm. However, if I'm going to get offered a big race, that's going to probably not, you never know, but like guaranteed to sell us out and fill up every pit spot, I'm not going to turn it down.
Right.
So I want to have, I don't want to have it be by itself and then have our normal carpet racing season, which I've tried to have go from like December through March. Because we need some track time, right?
Yeah, no, that was my biggest deal. I was even to the point where I was like, well, should we even run carpet? Yeah,
I was kind of thinking that too. But I do know it's so tough because we have a group of racers that like to do both. I can name a couple that have already said they're looking forward to carpet racing.
Yeah.
Not that they dislike dirt, but just that they're looking forward to getting back on that when the summer is over with.
Yeah, and my thing is whatever's going to get the most people.
Right.
I think that if we did race all, race dirt all winter and didn't change the carpet, we would have a lot of people coming to prepare for the race.
Yeah.
A lot. I think that we would. And then, and I know that for a fact we would.
Yeah.
And then you'd have, it's almost like who do you upset more, or who's going to benefit what's the bigger group that's going to get benefited by racing carpet or not racing carpet?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, I like I said, I don't really care what we race, but I think that the us getting this bigger event, it's like kind of need. I don't know. It's like we need to make it a big priority, and the carpet, has always been. I don't want to say it's secondary because it's really not, but it's always just been kind of like this is what we're doing because the dirt track's more 8-scale oriented right now.
Yeah.
And it was just a lot easier because you didn't have to deal with the drips, you didn't have to work on the track, in the dirt and in the cold as much, but it's still just as much work for you.
Yeah.
So it's been like kind of
the
you
drip,
gain a few things.
The drip thing, I think I've got figured out.
I think so too.
I hung those initial batch of things, and that actually worked.
Right.
So I'm happy with that. I got to finish them off. There's a couple more that I got to do to make the dirt oval better, too.
Mm-hmm.
Got to put some more over there, but there's just one or two spots that are still. It's just so high up there, and I'm so afraid of heights.
Yeah. I think that if we do race carpet, or I mean, it sounds like we're going to, and if they have the event, because when did I go last year? It was like October. I went to Thunder Road.
Yeah.
I just went up there by myself for that J Concepts carpet series. Yep. I mean, that's always a good one. We should go to that.
Yeah.
But if we're gonna race carpet,
I'm going to Beach RC in October. I can't afford to go anywhere else.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
All right, so here's what I'm thinking. So I looked at so the TCS race. I pretty much have it confirmed that it's going to be in March again. So the carpet crash-in will be in February, just like it was this year.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'm going to put the carpet crash-in on the 27th. And that's usually the Dirt Nitro Challenge date.
Mm-hmm.
So I know, there's nobody to piss off there. Like none of the Nitro guys would be butthurt if we didn't race, that weekend or whatever. So, and so then the TCS race would take up a week in March, and then the Techno Series is going to be probably November 14th, because November 7th is the reschedule of the AMS. And I know that that's a big deal, so a lot of our guys are going to go to that. So I think
what's AMS?
Alabama Manufacturer Shootout.
Ah, that's right. Okay.
So I think I had it marked on November 7th. Well, I think I'm going to move it to the 14th. So it'll be November 14th, December 5th. And then I'm thinking January 9th. And the reason why I had it at first January 2nd, but that's the day after New Year's. And that means that practice would be on January 1st, which is a holiday. So so it's going to have to be January 9th. And then I think February 20th, even though it's kind of close to the Dirt Nitro Challenge, and I always try to keep it away from that, but because normally the February round of the Techno Series would be where we're having this big 10-scale race.
Right.
So, and the week before that is Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
So, can't do that. I learned my lesson a long time ago on that one. And then I have the finals being March 6th.
Okay.
So, if you look at the actual winter dates, if you take away don't even think of January right now, the only carpet race dates would be the 13th of February, March 13th, and March 20th. Three race dates before April comes around, and we like to go back to dirt so we can prepare for the spring champs.
Yeah.
So I had basically the entire month of January set aside for dirt racing. And I hope this makes sense to people, because I've got January 16th, 23rd, and 30th as 10-scale dirt Saturdays to get ready for that. And I'll probably do what I did before this spring champ rate, or before the series, when we got back to racing, how I kind of built the track a week ahead.
Yeah.
So I'll probably build the track on the 23rd after the
Okay.
23rd. And then that way, if something stupid happens or if the layout sucks, I still have a week to fix it.
Yeah.
You know? So that leaves us for carpet off-road. So our final Summer Series race is the 3rd, October 3rd. So that leaves us these dates: October 10th, 17th, 24th, November 7th, 21st, 28th, December 12th, and the finals, or the last race, would be January 2nd. And that gives us 8 race dates for the Carpet Off-Road Syndicate, if we want to jump right into it. Because normally we don't. Normally there's basically the month of October and November is kind of left to dirt racing in the fall.
Yeah.
But I don't think this year, I don't think we can do that. So is that enough time? And is there going to, I'm looking at the racing groups, the local guys, I'm not worried about, they transition the way that they do it, right? But you don't really, we really haven't had the Fullers and the Rinternecks and those guys come over for the carpet racing in anyways.
Yeah.
So the fact that we would start carpet racing basically a week after our Summer Series, do you think that's what I'm worried about? Is that something to worry about? Or did we just say this is the way it is going to be this year, probably for the next couple of years at least? You know? I don't know. It's tough.
Yeah, there's just a lot going on, you know?
Yeah.
I don't have the answer.
This is what I do when I do this. When I'm trying to figure out our schedule, I write everything down on an old school piece of paper, and I just sit there and I stare at it. And I'm trying to think, what's best for our racers and what's best for the HobbyPlex. So
right.
That's kind of what's going through my head. I kind of the Techno Series dates. I'm pretty sure that those are going to be good. The Carpet Crash In, I think, is going to be fine. I even wrote down the HobbyPlex Spring Champs for next year, so it's April 22nd through the 25th. Luckily, Easter is like April 4th, so we don't have to worry about moving that race for Easter. And then the Summer Series next year is going to kind of go back to normal. So I've got May 15th, June 5th, July 10th, July 31st, August 28th, and September 18th. So they'll be kind of spread out again, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of what I got. It's weird because the February and March racing is just going to be club races. There's not really going to be any stakes.
Right.
You know? So, yep. That's just a little heads up on kind of what we're thinking about and what we're getting to. I just wanted to cover that because I when I wrote everything down and I actually saw the limited amount of weekends there's going to be, you know, as always, I'm like, holy crap. Like, this is going to go by really fast.
Yeah.
So, yeah. There you go. You want to do some word association?
Oh, sure.
Okay, I'm going to start. What happened this weekend? Low voltage detection.
Lipo fire. What happened? I don't know what happened.
No, we had a lot of battery issues this weekend. Most of them were. Here's a big no-no, people. Don't leave your batteries plugged into your car.
Yeah.
That's the number one most common thing that happens, and I feel bad for people because obviously we're not going to warranty your battery if you left your batteries plugged in.
Yeah.
You know,
right.
There's nothing to warranty. All right, you go. Give me one. Spring?
Yeah.
Water. Spring water. That's what came to my head.
Yeah. Took you a minute. You're supposed to just think.
Well,
or
I
not
know
even think
it was hard.
about it.
I was trying to think of something clever, but all that was running through my head was spring water. I don't know why. I don't know. Oh, I know why. No, I don't. I don't know. I don't remember. Okay, I'm gonna give you one more. You ready?
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna see if this works. what did we have come in the other day? Radio Shack.
Xmod.
Oh, nice. Xmod. So we're a Radio Shack Express store. We have hobby-related Radio Shack stuff, but the number one, we should just get these things in. We get calls constantly for the old weather radios that you wear on your head.
What?
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of people that have these weather radios, and they want them badly. And when Radio Shack went away, their source for weather radios went away.
What's a weather radio?
A weather radio? It's like what is a weather radio? It's like when you it's giving you like the current conditions, or when there's like a storm, it'll update you constantly on what's happening.
And you wear it?
I think so, yeah. Or it's like an AM FM radio. Maybe that's what it is. There's two of them. There's a weather radio, and then there's like a headphone AM FM radio that you see like retired people walking around with when they're doing their mall walks.
Ooh, okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, when I worked at that Hobbytown, when Dan put that Hobbytown in the mall, it might have been a couple of Christmases ago now. Man, there's a lot of people just walked around in the mall. They just put in laps at the mall.
Yeah.
I never realized how much of a thing that was.
Yeah. I haven't been to the mall in a while.
I honestly don't know anybody that goes to the mall.
I like going to the mall. I haven't had any reason to lately. Like,
I feel old when I go to the mall.
Yeah, I know. It's bad. So one thing about wearing sunglasses is people can't see my eyes, so I can stare at whatever I want to. Mm-hmm. So that I usually have my sunglasses on whenever I go to any sort of public space, unless it's dark out, of course, then you can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
But I realized a little while ago, I had this realization, and I turned 40 2 years ago now, so I'm 40, well, 2.5. I'm 41, 1.5. And I really shouldn't comment on young people's pictures or Facebook pages. So so I have a niece, and she took a picture of herself in a bikini, and I was riding in the car with Gretchen, and I wrote, I was about to write, I would like and comment this picture, except that I think that would be very creepy. And I gave it to Gretchen. I said, hey, isn't this funny? And she's like, absolutely not. Do not post that. Don't ever post that.
Margie, timestamp that to edit that out.
Don't edit that out. It's funny.
Okay, I guess it is.
Yeah, it is funny. It's on YouTube now, so it's locked in.
Yeah.
We got a couple questions. You want to get to them before we wrap this thing up? Yeah.
Okay.
Well, there's one on here on YouTube. By the way, Canada RC, we're getting a lot of Canada guys. Says, hey guys.
I love Canada.
Yeah,
hey guys.
Everybody's so nice in Canada.
Yeah, I wish I was Canadian.
Dude, did you see the video of Tessman? He's been at a couple different tracks up there. They've got some cool looking tracks, dude.
Oh yeah, it's Canada.
It's Canada. I hope I don't kill his last name. Peter Renaud. He's building a B-74, sanding the edges while listening. So it must be sanding the edges of the carbon fiber. I bought a 13.5 motor and a center diff. No idea where to start with pinions and spur choices for different types of surfaces. And he says he's new. What am I running? I've got a B70. Or I don't have a B74. I've got the Losi car, and I'm running 24 70, 78 for my opinion and spur. And I had it geared like 26, and I was slow. I geared it down way faster.
Yeah. Right. No, I was going to say 23 or 24.
Yeah, I think that's about right.
You guys run.
Does the B74, do they give you the two spur gear options like the two-wheel drive cars?
They do. I would run the larger spur gear and then tune it with that and get it close at that, personally. Is that
more... Are you just trying to gain the torque from the motor then by leaving the taller spur gear in there?
I think so. Yeah, I that's just what I've always done with like spec racing. It changes the power band of the motor, so that way you're not lugging it as hard. Because I mean, a lot of people think that you really have to work the motor in one of these stock classes to get the speed out of it, and now these newer motors, it's like that's not really the case. It's like you always have to get them into the power band before they start making power.
Would it be safe to say also to remember to check your motor and make sure that you have your timing turned up?
I would say so. What motor is he running? Did he say?
Didn't say. Just said 13.5
Okay.
motor. But like,
Yeah,
I've got my Sonic 13.5 cranked all the way up to like 50.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's the way to go or not, but it hasn't overheated, so.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I obviously I race modified. I don't race stock.
Well, there's
but-
some spec motors like Macklin, for instance, McLaren or whatever. Their motors are set at 0. So you have to do it yourself. And there's been a couple new motors. I think I bought my 7.0 originally and put it in my car, and I'm driving. I'm like, why is this thing so slow? This is a 7.0. This thing should be way faster. And then I looked at it, I'm like, oh, the timing's at 0. So I turned the timing up on the mod, like 30. And then it was
I
fast.
always run 20. I always run 20 degrees.
20 or
belt
30.
timing.
I think is safe for a mod motor.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I know with my 22X4 and I am running 13.5, I'm pretty sure I put the Stocksburger, which is 78, and 24 is where I'm at right now, opinion-wise. And my car's pretty good.
Okay.
So I think somewhere in there it would probably be the same on a B74, don't you think? Because you can put this B74 diff in
Center diff, yeah.
the center diff in the car. Maybe the ring and pinion gears are geared differently, but
It could be. I don't really know the low C car very well, but yeah, I think I honestly, I don't race the 13.5 class, so I'm not really in the loop a lot with that car. But if I had to guess, I know where I would start, and it'd be like 23, probably 45 degrees end bell timing, and the bigger spur gear. I think it's a 78.
yeah. I'm gonna try to use a couple from last week too, just to fill in the time here. I think we spent the first 10 minutes over here. I'm looking at the clock, just gabbing. So sometimes that gets cut out.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's good for YouTube, but it's not necessarily good for the podcast.
That's fine.
There's Jackson's question we answered. So Gangler actually asked 2 last week, and I just kind of skipped over one of them.
Yeah.
He asked, can we use the rest of the dirt oval for a 24-second lap layout? And my answer to that is probably one of these races, not next week, but or 2 weeks from now, but maybe for round 4, there might be some changes relating to using the entire track.
Yeah, I like having this. It's not small. Like even though we're not using the whole track or the whole building.
It's still a big track.
It's not a small track.
The track that we're running on right now is the same size that Leisure Hours used to be.
Right.
It's 120 by 70 or whatever it is, 75.
Right.
And when
I like the smaller track because you get more reps, you get more like practice, or you get more laps to try to stay more consistent. And maybe it isn't a big deal, or maybe I'm looking into it too much. But that was always my opinion on that. Is I always like the shorter track that we have because you get more laps.
Yeah.
In a race.
The other reason why that I try not to use the oval for our 10 scale series racing is that it's easier to corner marshal the smaller track.
Mm-hmm.
So,
right.
Our club races, if we only have 5 or 6 cars in a heat or in a class altogether, those are the 5 or 6 marshals you get. So if you got this big track, then everybody's spread out. So when you crash, it's worse because it takes longer for your car to get marshaled.
Mm-hmm.
But also, our jumps, when we go to the Techno Series, we try to use the majority of the track in some way when it works. And that's because, everything has to be spaced out a little bit more. It's 1/8 scale, so it has to be, the jumps have to be farther apart and so they can flow the right way. And so you're kind of forced into trying to use more of the racetrack. Whereas with 10 scale racing, you got these jumps that but in order for them to work the proper way, you know, they got to be a little bit closer.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just easier to build a track that way when you don't have to take into account that extra, what is that, 30 by 75 space, I guess.
Yeah, right.
Plus, the dirt oval's rock hard.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not like we can till that thing up. It is a tough dirt to break up. So once we set it, you know, the only way to get it ready for weekly racing is to drag it and kind of fill in the cracks and kind of, you know, get some more dirt on the surface to pack in. But underneath of that little tiny crust that might be, you know, a quarter of an inch or whatever, I mean, it is basically like concrete. So
yeah,
it's not the easiest dirt in the world to move either.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So I don't know. That's all I got. I was just gonna recycle one of those from last week.
Yeah.
And Peter came on. He said, "I bought the plastic diff, Gears 2, and thanks. He wondered why the timing wasn't at 0. Could get an Aries Pro V3 due to availability. I wonder what an Aries Pro is. I've never heard of that one.
Aries.
And it's pronounced Renault. Oh, because the D is like you're like the car Renault.
Renault. Okay.
Renault. Anyways, so cool. But I think that's pretty cool. I like questions, especially when they're good questions.
Yeah. What motor did he say he has? An Aries motor?
Yeah, Aries Pro V3.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, me neither.
No, I have heard of it.
Have you?
Yeah, because the RC company I worked for, the airline was Aries.
Yeah.
And I remember like Googling or something, and I found that. I was like, huh, that's weird. There's a motor company called Aries.
Well, I'm running a Rudog.
Yeah.
In mod in mine. That's a European. That's a European motor. I looked it up.
Yeah. No, I think that's what. I think that there's who is it? I think Yona is sponsored by Rudog,
Yona?
but I don't think he uses their motors.
Well,
He
they have
uses
those.
Reedy.
They have those sweet receivers that are like $30 cheaper for Sandwall radios that we carry at the Plex too. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, I hear good things about all that stuff.
It should be. Mine works really good, and it was cheap too. It was only they retail for $54.99. I was like, I'll try it, see what happens.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's a pretty good hour and 10 minutes or so we got in on the cut side. A little bit longer on the YouTube side. So.
Yeah, that's okay. I think that it's kind of nice to talk about nothing for a while.
Yeah.
To make sure our 3 viewers can get in. You know?
Actually, we're up to 6 right now on YouTube.
What?
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Who are they?
I don't know. Doesn't really say. It just shows the viewership.
Anybody commenting, wanting to shout out or?
No, not really. TJ Williams, but I don't think it's our TJ Williams. Says, "Hey guys."
Hey TJ.
Yeah. So, okay. That's about it for us. I gotta go. I'm gonna go try to find. I gotta go try to find some sticks so I can build a new crawling course ramp. So while it's still light out tonight, I'm gonna go to the park and try to find some sticks.
You know, if you wanted to come to Lincoln and check out a lot of the stuff I got in my backyard.
Yeah, you got a bunch of brush fires.
Well, I also have some railroad ties.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, maybe one day I'll go down there.
All right. There's something else. Oh.
Not this week, because I got like $10 in my bank account, so I wouldn't be able to afford the gas. So.
Yeah. I got a marinating chicken in pickle brine. Have you ever heard of doing that before?
I have not.
God, it's so good. There's a friend of mine in Lincoln that owns a restaurant, and he was saying that I was telling him about it. I was like, I don't know why it's so good. And he said the salt the brine in it, like, absorbs into the chicken, and it just doesn't stop absorbing it. And that's why it gets so tender and so much better.
Nice.
But he said he saved pickled juice or pickle brine for like, I don't know, it must have been 6 months, I think he said, and he was just eating nothing but pickles. He did it so he could brine and marinate a Thanksgiving turkey in it, and then he fried it.
Oh. Sounds
Anyway.
good.
Yeah.
All right, are you going to come up and race Saturday? Are you racing Saturday for the Raising Cane's Challenge?
Yeah, speaking of...
We've got 25 entries online right now. We're halfway there.
25?
25. I
thought I looked earlier and there was at least 30.
Oh, well, maybe there was a whole bunch maybe that signed up, but I looked earlier today. We had 25. If you didn't listen to last week's show, if we get 50 or more people to sign up online, which is how I have it set up, I will cater in Raising Cane's chicken for the crew on Saturday for racing. And I can do that because I get paid on Friday. So it'll work out. But
drivers only.
Drivers only. But here's the thing. Even if we don't, I think if we don't reach that goal, I won't get Raising Cane's, but I'll still provide something. I'm thinking just like Little Caesars pizza or something like that.
Yeah, drivers only.
Yeah, drivers only.
Yeah, man. Like we could have it on our hot driver's stand or something.
Yep.
That'd be cool.
Yep. So I purchased an Axial SCX-10 kit that I will start building this Thursday for After Hours. So that's where you're going to find me this week. Yep. And we'll try to get into What's New Wednesday. We'll see if we get anything on Wednesday to do it. If we don't, then we don't, and that's fine. But for sure, I'll start building my new crawler on Thursday's After Hours show. So
that'd be cool.
Yeah. All right, we better go. Appreciate you being here every week, Will. You're awesome.
Oh, yeah. I try to be, no problem. No big deal.
Thanks to Weberize.com for the space and for putting our podcast out there. And, of course, Pivot Lending Group and pivotlending.com. Again, if you get a hold of him, email, phone, whatever, and you get yourself lined up with a home loan or a refinance, mention our show, and you can get a little bit of a discounted rate or a $500 lender credit to your closing costs. So that's pretty awesome. So, yeah. All right, man. Thank you very much.
Yep. Talk to you later.
Yep.
See you on the flip flop.
Nice.
No, I saved it.
Yeah. How do I get back to YouTube? Command tab. And then, there it is. I can scroll down there. Bye, YouTube.